When I was a toddler, my grandmother tripped me down the stairs that led to an ongoing dinner party. All of the guests laughed when my father remarked, "Walk much." I hadn't.
I don't want to be me today. For today, I can't stop thinking about Mary's hands.
To distract myself, I watched 4K colors on the television. It felt like only yesterday where I watched Shades. The television, it is a distraction, one that fails to distract me from Mary's hands. Her father whispered to me while they lowered her into the casket that was being lowered into the plot. Chuck Mary, father of Mary, said something along the lines of,
"Gas corpse releases inside the casket will eventually combust, causing an explosion. I have reason to believe that when too many bodies explode on the ground at once, earthquakes happen. This alone causes earthquakes."
Marcus Mary was the husband. This guy receives true pity today. I even saw him snag Mary's wedding ring before she began lowering. Why? To sell it? What a terrible, fat piece of dong shit. I went over to tell him off, but instead I said, "I'm sorry." It was mumbled, so I thought he heard, "I'm Sully," like Tom Hanks. But he responded in a way that makes me now question if I actually said I'm sorry. What is wrong with me?
When I was a kid, I would duct tape eggshells to the soles of my shoes.
I'd always step on nails. All except for when Mary was around. In Sunday school, we were given a riddle. A man is found dead hanging from his ceiling fan. A puddle of water is the only thing beneath him. How did this happen? I ignored the water and said that he jumped into the noose. The teacher called me a ducking artist. Wait, that's not right. Mary's answer was that another man helped him up, but then the rapture happened. The helping man went to heaven, leaving a pool of water. Well, the suicidal man was left on this earth so that he can be roped to hell. She got a cookie. The teacher kept me after class and whacked my wrist for 40 minutes straight with a wooden ruler. She asked, "What is wrong with me? Why do I always push?" I grew up in a household of 7 children. They used to call me Runt, despite me being the middle child. I always wished I was born last just so I can have that name make sense. Although Mother said if she got pregnant again, she'd abort. Sometimes she jokes that she considered it with me. I laugh, but I don't find it really funny. Father used to tell us stories to scare us before bed. One time he didn't tell a story. He just said,
"Careful when you eat blueberries. You never know when there might be spiders inside."
When I was at grown-up parties, I'd socialize, speaking in what I thought they talked like. They would mock this in a very condescending way. I was always descending. I wouldn't con you. I'd get back at them though. As soon as the grown-ups would look away, I'd down their drinks, then throw up later that night and tell my parents who gave me the alcohol. This backfired once when I took a sip of what I thought was wine. None of this matters. Mary mattered. A lot was on my mind minutes prior to the last chance I had to convince Mary to love me. To be honest, 3 things. I'll make this quick. I know you're sick of me. Every time I'd go to the dentist, he would smugly walk in and state, "So you have a toothache?" Then grin, showing his perfect teeth. After, I would think, "What is wrong with me?" I bursted out, "One day you'll die. If it is getting hit by a transport truck, all your teeth will pop out of your mouth. If it is natural causes, your teeth will rot with your body in the casket." He cried. He ran out of the room, no doubt thinking, "What is wrong with me?" Why do I always pull?
I had this friend in the army. Lost in the woods, he gets so angry. He bites into a live buck. The buck swings his antlers into his ribs, bursting both his windpipes. He goes crazy for 5 days straight, starts to make fuck to a typical cow queen.
I've only seen the creature 3 times after. Sometimes I can hear it licking at my brain. Maybe that's why I'm so stupid. What is wrong with me?
In high school, Mary was nice to me some days. Sometimes she'd be cruel and act like I didn't exist. One day when we played dodgeball in the gymnasium, Mary confirmed she remembered me when she hurled a dodgeball. This turned out poor when the blow to my face dislocated my right eye a tad, and I wept in front of my classmates. There were rumors that I shat my pants. This happened every day. This was only rumors. Accurate, but rumors. When the gym teacher had a look at me, I was very scared, for there were rumors about him. 10 years later, it was confirmed that he had an active sex life with all of the boys' tennis team, and only tennis. He would begin each class by saying, "Balls are in my court." We thought he was just senile, as most of the elderly are. He did not make a pass at me. Not that I wanted it, but it did make me feel a little left out, especially since even Gary Goppinger, the fat, sweaty ginger boy, got molested. He asked in his statement in court, I still remember this. He asked, "What is wrong with me?" Yesterday I bumped into Mary, and she offered for us to grab some coffee. I was hoping it would go well, but she was in a sour mood, and I got quiet when she said, "Stop looking at me." I apologized 4 times. I'm sorry. Then my heart rate increased. I've always had a defective heart. I did my exercises waiting for more coffees. By the time she finally said something else, "I love you," I interrupted. She laughed. Really hard. I felt my vision tightening. I did my breathing. Nothing. She then said,
"What a thing you are."
I poured it on my infectious erection. It was surprisingly cold. As I was watching for reactions from other patrons, I saw Mary bump into Mark outside, come back in and sit at the table beside me. She didn't look at me at all, but she was much more eager with him. They spoke and spoke, and I was there by myself. I eavesdropped till the place closed. We went home together. What is wrong with me?
I saw a bird have a heart attack the other day. A bird? Yeah. It thought it was gonna fly right into another bird, and its heart just stopped. It died from that. Either that or the fall did him in.
Mary put me down as her best friend for the funeral service. It must have been 7 years since the last we spoke at our coffee date. She left me an envelope with a letter inside. The letter read, I sat down and pondered this for 43 minutes. Then I got up. I went to the church to apologize to the Sunday school teacher. She had died. I went to the prison to apologize to the gym teacher, but he had hung himself. I went to my family's home to see my mother, but she had dementia and did not remember who I was. My father had a stroke, my grandmother tumbled down the stairs, and all my brothers and sisters died in 2 planes that crashed into each other. What's my point? Well, now, as I watch Mary lower into the ground for good, I can't stop thinking. Is there anything wrong with me? There's no one left to say.